Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Sunrise Stroll and Chat. I think we'll do a different little beginning today, at least, because the sun is still in hiding. It's sleeping in. And we need to let it sleep in, so don't be too loud. Let it sleep in well. And let it rest properly. There's a lot of cloud. So I just thought, since we're only a week away from the feast of Mary Magdalene, that we'd take a look at her town. So this is part of Magdala of the first century. Here we see a little street. If you'd like to walk down there, let's wait for another day to do that. But just think that we can walk down on a street that was absolutely in a vibrant town at the time of Mary Magdalene. Now, here there's a big treasure of the ritual baths, and there's also a mosaic floor under this roof. A beautiful mosaic floor, and we'll talk more about that later. And this is Mount Arbel, and behind Mount Arbel there's the Wadi Hammam. We'll talk more about that again, hopefully another day. We'll do a little introduction this week on Magdala. And then we have over here, I want to show you where we were yesterday. So you see this ledge over there about, let's say, in the very middle of the screen. So we're going to zero in on that a little bit. And you're going to see some very big caves there. You can already see them. See those two caves up there like the eyes of a monster looking out through the mountain? That's where we were yesterday, up on top of those caves. I'm not sure actually if I was up on top of the next ledge above them, but at least on top of where the caves are. Okay? And then here we have another part of the excavation, a residential area, and then this is the headquarters of the archaeologists when they were here. There's a lot of archaeological storage there, and then that's also used to be our dining room for the volunteers until everything came with Corona and shut everything down. And then here we are. Some of these olive trees are very old. I've already shown you some of them, but we planted that avenue there. This is the Donors Avenue, and this is our new guest house. It was opened last November and was shut down by Corona, but thank God we're operating again during the weekends especially, but also during the week. More and more local people are coming to stay for a vacation at the Sea of Galilee, as also people here can't travel out, so they need new places to visit. And over here, underneath the wooden roof there behind that screen, there's our synagogue. Imagine a Catholic priest saying our synagogue. And then we have the market area just right across this little walkway here, and we'll go there as well. I had the idea to do this because on Friday evenings when I do the German language Sunrise Stroll and Chat, I noticed that many of you, as we always do a little piece of archaeology, they wanted that. So then I often got comments that you want to see this with English commentary. So this is just a little overview to get started. Then maybe what we can do is we can go to one of the less sensational spots, or we can see the mosaic. Let's see, the mosaic is pretty sensational, so we could do the mosaic this morning. There's a little color coming in the sky. We'll check that out in a second when I stop again. Well, actually we can check it out right now, but not too well. So you see there's a little red coming over there, but it's there's too much cloud. Look at all that cloud, that haze. So it's just the sun is still sleeping in. And here we see some of the explanations of these houses around the mikvaot here on these posters. And this is a picture of the mosaic up close, but that's just a picture. Here you can actually see the real thing. In Magdala you see the real thing. So this place was operational in the first century. Did Mary Magdalene use the mikvaot in this place? Maybe. And here we have this mosaic. Let me zero in on the mosaic for you. Let me settle down here. Be careful where you sit. There we are. It's going to be a little bit difficult. Let me see if I turn it like this. I can get closer with the... Just be careful here. I'm not trying to toss your coffee, okay? Okay. So here we are. So look at this mosaic, people. So you have an infinity pattern mosaic in the periphery of the room, and then you have a rosette shape in the center that has rounded sections on the outside. They're a little rounded. They're different than the ones we have in our synagogue. And you can also probably detect, even with your eye through this image, that there are three major colors of stone. So you have the dark stone, the basalt, you have the whiter stone, the limestone, and then you have that reddish ochre type of color, which is then a third color. And you have a big diamond, which is unique to this mosaic. In the one in the synagogue, we don't have that diamond shape that's englobing the rosette, a long drawn out diamond shape. And then there's also a red square inside around it. So there's a lot of geometry here, which is very interesting. And we have a wonderful lady in Spain who is doing her doctorate on the colors of the mosaics in Magdalene. Can you believe it? She has identified 27, I think 26 or 27 different colors. So we just see three with the naked eye in a general way, but if you look more closely, you'll see little nuances, and she has 27 different colors. Can you imagine the brilliance of this mosaic at that time? Okie doke. So now I want to change the scope here. Well, just so you can see some of the rooms there, you know. These walls are from the 1st century, people. We know that from the coins and the pottery. And obviously they didn't look like that because they were probably finished and nice rooms. And over here you see these structures, you know, very strong stones, basalt stones. That's actually the cover of a drain, but we'll get there another day. So let me get you in here so you don't get dizzy when I turn the camera around. It's interesting, with bigger perspective, it's the time to move. Don't move just on a detail in your life, move with the big perspective. Okay, so this guy spilled your cup of tea. Well, don't shoot back with a revolver, because maybe, you know, it was an accident and you're making the wrong conclusion. See the bigger picture. So here, look at this. This is a residential area, and after finding the synagogue and the ritual baths, everybody expected more big, glorious, glamorous discoveries, and here it was actually just normal residential place, nothing sensational, just rooms. There's a little alley as well. Let's go and see the alley. Look at this little alley going down the center and there on the left corner. So just normal residential, ordinary, but you know what? Guess what? The archaeologists are fascinated because there were so many objects found here, and it reveals so much about daily life. And we're waiting for that publication from Marcelo Zapata, the head excavator, the archaeologist with the license in charge. That's the way it's done. One archaeologist has the license to dig, and based at the Anáhuac University in Mexico. So there's a little bit more color coming. So let's stroll back down towards the water that you love, to the Sea of Galilee. And hopefully, if I forget, you remind me to come back here another day. You see, we're doing the 9 days of prayer stimulation, and maybe you've joined it already. I don't know if we need to post the link again. If you need the link again, just say that on a note right now. And if you're new and one of the participants, one of the Magdalene family here, we have a very big family from Malaysia to Alaska, and from South Africa to Finland, and don't miss Ireland, and don't miss England, and don't miss Germany, and don't miss a lot of other places. Louisiana, for example, the Louisiana Purchase. So they're all here, and somebody will post the link for you because we posted it 2 days ago. And if it's not posted right now in one of the comments, it will be posted again in we'll put it up in the title. So look here, this is another spot here, And I'm not sure if we talked about that. I did it, I think, for the Germans recently in the Friday evening Abendspaziergang. We do it at sunset. And here we have a double type of thing. The whole complex apparently was where they made a lot of bread. And they were a room for grain and for milling, and another a third room for baking. And then the archaeologists tell us that there was a second floor here where the people probably resided. And then over there in the distance we have a tower just this side of the trees. And the word for tower in Hebrew is Migdal. And that's where we have the name Magdala. And over there is the most ancient part of the town, the Franciscan site. The Franciscans owned that for over 100 years. We're just here for, well, the first piece we bought, I think, 2006, right? So, 14 years. So then all that big pile of clay here is what the volunteers did. So if you want to be a volunteer, you make a big pile of clay. Well, actually, the real story is here our go-kart for all the pilgrims who come and need a ride. If they had a wheelchair or whatever. And the sky is nice and the sun is just coming out. Oh boy, we just got it. Just hold on. Don't fall. Stay there. Look, the sun is coming out, you see? Just over the olive tree, between the tall palms. In the third to the left, you see, there we have it. There we have the sun. So we've got a nice sunrise again. The sun was lazy about it this morning, slept in, but there we have it. There we have a beautiful sunrise. Let's head over there. I hope you don't mind the dizziness. I'm going to bring it in again here so you don't get dizzy. And actually it's nice this way. Here we have Duken Altum. So I'm going to do cross country here, okay? Are you ready? Got your right tennis shoes on, people? Your right sports shoes? Your hiking boots? So we're riding into the sunrise. How about that? Like the cowboys riding into the sunset. We're riding into the sunrise. Look at this olive tree here. We didn't look at this one. Look at that stem. Isn't that amazing? The age of this thing. And all the damage it also endured. All the pruning, all the cutting. And there we have this beautiful olive tree. So we're walking actually through the port area of 2,000 years ago. Imagine how many times Mary Magdalene would have walked through the town here. And here you see this beautiful skyline right now. It might even be good enough for screenshots. Some of you are pretty picky and demanding, so there we are. So you can have your nice screenshot there, Look at that, people. Now that's a combination of two trees. If you can see, there's a tall one behind, so it's a little bit messed up for the aesthetics, but we'll fix that for you in a moment. And then you have here the port of Magdala, 1st century port. And the lower entry to Duken Altum. Many of you have been here. So now let's go over and get closer to the water. There we are. Now you can see the water. And then we have this is my favorite old tree. Look at that. Look at that tree, people. And all the olives it has today. Look at those olives. On the way to maturity, like each of us. We're on the way to maturity. Sometimes we might be a little bitter along the way, but the Lord is preparing a sweetness in His mercy and patience with us. There's a lady here. I wonder who this is. Our place is public, so then there's a big boating area there, the dry marina to the north of us. I don't know who this lady is. Maybe she's one of the So here we are now on the sun. There we go. Oh, let's do it this way. Let's do it here between these trees. Oh, this is open here. We're in here with the trucks. They're opening up a little bit more beachfront here for the visitors on the weekends. And this could be nice here. Let's stop here for a second, people. So, welcome to Sunrise Stroll and Chat here at the Sea of Galilee. We're in Magdala. We're touching a town, we're walking in a town, we're breathing in the air. Can you get the fresh air? Can you breathe it in? Breathe it deeply. This Magdala fresh air here at the Sea of Galilee. We go down closer to the water here. Wow, that's nice, isn't it? So you see a lot of cloud is still there. Well, you know what? It could be some guests maybe that are staying here. So they're cleaning up all this. Oh, I haven't even seen this amount they did yesterday. They did a lot. So we have a lot of water here, but it's kind of a battle because the water is going to be going down. So just to get enough place for the children to play on the weekends. Hey, there's some action down here in the water. I wonder what it is. Some little creatures in the water. You see? They're doing all kinds of little dances down there. It's very still this morning, very calm. So let's look at take a word of the good scriptures. Again, the readings today are very strong. But when there are strong readings, we have to see the point behind them. And really, I'll give you the shortcut right now. It's all about faith and growth in faith, and how faith is so essential and so important. Hey, the sun has gone into hiding again. It's already taking a nap. So a reading from the book of the prophet Isaiah. And the headline that's taken out is, "Unless your faith is firm, you shall not be firm." So imagine how many people got shook up by the corona and were very, very shaken, very disturbed, very upset. And obviously even people with faith, right? But it's a time to grow in faith. We're in God's hands. Unless your faith is firm, you shall not be firm. Like, what's the ultimate reference point when the whole world shakes and all of our known coordinates are upset? Our world is turned upside down. Unless your faith is firm, you shall not be firm. In the days of Ahaz, we're in chapter 7 of Isaiah. The king of Judah, son of Jotham, son of Uzziah. That's one of the beautiful pictures of the biblical story always. There's a lot of background, a lot of history, a lot of connectedness between generations. You know, that's a wonderful expression, self-made person, but there's actually no such thing. No person ever made themselves. There was a beautiful lady and a wonderful man, Boker Tov, and they had a child, and the child received a huge DNA download that they didn't plan or design. And to recognize this, and to realize that there were grandparents, and there were great-grandparents, and great-great-grandparents. How often do we find this in the scripture? So anyway, in the days of King Ahaz, Rezin the king of Aram, Arameans, up in the Syrian area, and Pekah king of Israel, and Syria is just across from us really. Hey, look at that light. And Pekah, king of Israel, that's here in the north, can you imagine? The king of Israel, Pekah, and he's the son of Remaliah, they went up to attack Jerusalem, the king of Israel, in alliance with the Syrians. That's how bad the civil war was, the division was inside the chosen people. How many gifts are given and how much chosenness can be. How much goodness can be poured on children by their parents, and siblings can fight. We have it since Cain and Abel, It's kind of a trait of broken humanity. A trait of broken humanity. They went up to attack Jerusalem, but they were not able to conquer it. When word came to the house, that's the summary, but there's like a process toward that. When word came to the house of David that Aram was encamped in Ephraim, and Ephraim is another name for the northern kingdom, but it's also a place not too far from Ramallah, and it's where Jesus went for the week before his passion, and it was the tribe of Ephraim, right? So the heart of the king and the heart of the people trembled, as the trees in the forest tremble in the wind. Now today we don't have wind, but we can see trees and they're not trembling. Why? Because it's so calm. There's not a leaf moving, not a leaf. Well, I just heard a drone here. Not a leaf is moving, but the trees of the forest tremble in the wind. Then the Lord said to Isaiah, "Go out to meet Ahaz, you and your son Shear-Jashub, at the end of the conduit of the upper pool, on the highway to the fuller's field, and say to him, Take care, you remain tranquil, and do not fear. Let not your courage fail before these two stumps of smouldering brands. Thus says the Lord, this shall not stand, it shall not be." So right now it didn't happen. But then within 65 years, Ephraim shall be crushed, no longer a nation. Unless your faith is firm, you shall not be firm. A call to faith. Strong words sometimes are like that, a call to faith. So what's the call to faith in your life today? And unless your faith is firm, you shall not be firm, is echoed in the Psalm 48. And the response verse is from verse 9, God upholds his city forever. Unless the Lord build a house, in vain do the laborers build it. As a child, my dad often explained to us the motto of the Kelly family, which is Turris Fortis Mihi Deus, which is also a line from Scripture. Turris is a tower, Magdala. Fortis, strong, a strong tower. Mihi, to me, Deus, God. God is a strong tower for me. God is a tower of strength for me. On God I build my life. Unless your faith is firm, you shall not be firm. I think we should be almost running out of time here. So let's just look at the gospel for a second. Jesus began to reproach the towns, and we're in Matthew chapter 11. So again, it's a strong word, and he's actually talking to Chorazin and Bethsaida, which are over there. The new probable Bethsaida is more or less where the sun is over the water over there, over on that side of the lake. In a recent archaeological dig of the last 3 summers, but there won't be much going on this year because of Corona. And then further north there was another candidate for Bethsaida, just east of the Jordan River, and well, both of them are east of the river, obviously. And then Chorazin is up there as well. So these are very strong words in Matthew 11 about these towns. And what's the reason? They were very proud towns, and Capernaum even had a line, exalted to heaven. And so the question is, will you be exalted to heaven? You will go down to the netherworld. For if the mighty deeds done in your midst, all the miracles Jesus did, had been done in Sodom, it would have remained until this day. But I tell you, it will be more tolerable for the land of Sodom on the day of judgment than for you. So what does this tell the reader today? That there's a responsibility in our faith. We receive gifts, and behind every gift is a giver. But then there's another line. With every gift, there's an expected response. And there's a lot could be said about this. So there's a beautiful expression in German, actually. How does that go? You know, it's not coming to me now. I had a late evening yesterday night working with our help desk, fixing some computer problems, and my brain isn't picking this up. It might come back to me, so I better not push for it right now. But it will come, and you can remind me in a comment about it so that I remember it and then tell you. But it's basically the same word almost, and it becomes a gift is a mission. How is that? Gosh. Okay, I won't even push for it right now. People, it was just so wonderful to have you this morning. The birds are agreeing. And we're delighted that you were joining us at Sunrise Stroll and Chat here at the Sea of Galilee. It started out very dull, very, very dark, late sunrise. But we were able to visit the town of Mary Magdalene. And those of you who joined later can go back and check it out. The birds are dancing here, so they're very happy. Lots of birds here in front of the sun. And we'll be in touch. And don't forget that 9 days of prayer stimulation that are happening on the website, and check it out. And God bless you. See you later.